Ready.
He's peeled away by himself. Just pay attention. That's an old bull. Hey. No, it's in the camp. He's facing us.
This began as a buffalo hunt with professional hunter Keith. It had all the familiar ingredients. Long days, dusty tracks, and the excitement of getting close to one of Africa's most formidable animals. But the African bush had another story waiting. Along the way, Keith would stumble across something so rare that even people who have spent their entire lives in the bush may never see one in the wild. A moment that would make this far more than just another buffalo hunt.
Well, it's day one of our tuskless and buffalo safari, and we've got a few places where I've seen a couple of Dagga boys for this whole season. So we're going to go and have a look, try and find a track. But I think, John, we're going to be opportunists, like I told you yesterday.
Yeah.
So if we bump into a herd of buffalo, but I would particularly like to hunt Dagga boys, myself personally, try and get you into some buffalo. And if we see some fresh elephant signs, some cows, we might even follow them and see if we can find a tuskless. But that's the plan.
Got it.
Morning.
Sounds good to me.
If you enjoy real hunting in wild places with some of the finest professional hunters in the world, don't forget to like and subscribe. And join us as we hunt across Africa, sharing the adventure, the people, and the wild places that make this continent so special.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay.
Late season hunts come with their own challenges. By now, the bush is dry, the leaves have fallen, covering the ground and making every step that much louder. One wrong footstep can give you away long before you ever see the buffalo. So you learn to use the same paths the animals use. The well-worn game trails are quieter underfoot and give you the best chance of getting in close without announcing your presence. Out here, it's not always about how fast you can move. Sometimes it's about how quietly you can move.
What do we have, Keith? We just followed the Dagga boy from this morning. We did see him. Very nice bull. Nice and wide, solid old boy. But just didn't present the right shot that we needed. Bit too much brush in front of him, so we decided just to let him go, which is the right decision to make. So yeah, on to the next. There's lots of buffalo out there. We try again. I was busy driving along the Kanyemba road going up to check a couple of springs, and lo and behold there was a big herd that had crossed the road, so we decided to follow.
Keith and the team had been in amongst these buffalo for quite some time. And with buffalo, you can't rush the hunt. You're getting close, the wind changes, they move. You think you've got the bull, and another animal steps in front of him. So you back out, you circle around, and you start again. That's Africa. The herd knew something wasn't quite right. They weren't running, but they were restless. Constantly shifting, constantly changing position. Keith and the trackers just kept working them. A little closer here. Back out there. Wait for the wind. Watch the cows. Find the bull again. And eventually, all that patience starts to pay off. They'd found the buffalo they wanted. Now they just needed one clean opportunity. Because getting close to a buffalo is one thing. Getting the right buffalo, standing in the right place with a clear shot, that's another thing altogether. There are moments in the African bush that stop you in your tracks, and finding a pangolin alive in the wild is one of them. It may look well protected, covered in armor from head to tail, but that armor has become its greatest weakness.
Quickly say something, Keith. So we've got a pangolin over here. It is one of the most trafficked creatures, animals in Africa for their scales. This is a pretty small one over here. A very tiny little guy. You're so lucky to see this. This is very, very rare to see a pangolin in the wild.
It may look well protected, covered in armor from head to tail, but that armor has become its greatest weakness. When threatened, a pangolin curls itself into a ball. It is an effective defense against most natural predators, but against man it makes the animal almost defenseless. Across Africa, pangolins are taken from the wild and pass through an illegal chain of poachers, middlemen, and international traffickers. The scales are made from keratin, the same material found in our fingernails, yet they are still traded for supposed medicinal use. Pangolin meat is also sold as a luxury food. Every pangolin species on Earth is now threatened with extinction. Finding this animal here, alive, and exactly where it belongs, was an enormous privilege. If the pangolin disappears from Africa, none of us will be able to say that we did not know what was happening.
Sorry, can I just take you? Can I come in? There's a bull. I can't see. There's a bull to the right back. Oh yeah, I can see him. Nice bull. On the right hand side. That's a small cow. There's the bull. He's coming through there on the left. You can see his, look, you can see his voices. Big great tree there. Just wait. He's coming into the clearing over there by the rock. Yes. I think we have. No? Are you happy with your shot there? Might be a little high. I think it's a little bit high. The shoulders though. Hasn't you? Got it? I'm a beginning. Right. Stay with me. shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. Let's just watch him. Oh, he's done. You can put one in if you want. He's done. Very nice, Paul.
You don't want no more in him for sure.
It's your call, but I think he's dead. You could put one in between his shoulder blades for luck. Mzebe. Mushibule, got it? Akanaka, eh? Akanaka? Yeah. Gavara?
Yeah.
Akanaka?
Yeah, Akanaka. Good.
Beautiful bus, right? Just take his eyes as well. I know
Long shot. Long summer. I was a little worried he wasn't bleeding that much, and I'm thinking, fuck, not again. John, just check his eyes for me, please. Check his eyes.
Photo with the barrel. He's done.
Yes. Well done. That'll work.
The luck of the pangolin, eh?
Yep, and the extraordinary effort of some really good trackers and a great pH. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good shooting. Nice pull, huh?
God damn, they are fucking monsters, aren't they? Oh, it splattered his lungs. You can see his lungs just coming out of his nose. I was afraid that shot was a little high, too.
It was a little high, but it was enough to
Low enough.
low enough to hit him in the double lung.
Yep.
But remember, we'll also elevate.
Oh, that helps a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be curious. The bullet didn't go through all the way, obviously.
No.
I'd be curious to see it when we get that skinned out thing.
So that was him giving the death bellow. But
Ah,
with the hollow herd here, you just are worried.
I was wondering if that's what it was.
It was the calling its calf, but it was definitely him giving his death bellow. Well done, John.
Old bull.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's an old bull, right?
He's
That
an
white
old bull.
face. So why is he not a
100%.
Dagga boy?
Nice old Dagga boy. Well done.
So he is a Dagga boy, even though he's
Yes.
with the herd?
He's just with the herd, yeah.
Okay. What do you go, 50 yards maybe?
Yeah. I mean, that elephant was in this anthill here. Probably around about 50, 60 yards.
I still didn't see the elephant.
You didn't see it?
I thought I saw the ears through this. I looked more closely. I didn't look that long, but I thought, whatever.
Yeah, no. Well done, Tom. Good.
I'm happy with that. That's fantastic.
Nice bull. Those are big bosses, eh?
Yeah.
Jeez,
How old do you think he is? You got to guess.
what, 10?
Yeah.
What's a yay?
Comforte!
Beautiful.
Look at that gnarly white face.
Yeah, he's an old boy. When
He's
I
an
saw
old-
him walking through, I knew straight away. I was like, yeah, nice old Dagga boy.
Yeah.
Gully's actually spotted in that. Well done, Gully.
God, look at that face on him, boy. He's just got a lot of white,
When you see that grey,
nice hard.
solid boy. When you see that grey and no hair on his face, and he's got like a Roman nose, he's an old boy.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a past 4 days of lots of excitement, lots of ups and downs, unfortunately, but it is hunting. It happens to the best of us. And we tracked the Dagga boy this morning. Obviously that wasn't meant to be, and we got into this big herd of buffalo. There must have been over 100 buffalo.
A lot of them in there for sure. A ton of cows and.
Yeah, I mean, and the wind was just perfect, nice and open here. The buffalo just came right onto us at, well, I don't even know what the shot, maybe 40 yards.
Yeah.
And this bull presented the best shot he could, and it was a great shot on John's behalf. And yeah, he didn't even go more than 40, 50 yards and he fell over. So a great successful hunt, a nice old Dagga boy, and it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Well, what's next? Obviously recovery. What's that mean exactly?
It's to get the car in, yeah.
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 And a lot of drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll make a plan. We'll get in here somehow. The luck of the pangolin.
Hey, my boy. Hey, imagine
How many
that.
times have you seen that?
This is my second time. But the first one I showed at school in a box.
Is it?
This was the first time in the wild.
It's tiny, it's still a baby.
It's beautiful, eh?
Still a baby. You must see the one, the big.
I'm surprised how heavy he was.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't check if it was a sheer he, but I've held a big one, John. I reckon even like 14, 15 kilos.
Is that right?
That one's about maybe 5, 6 kilos, but still a baby.
Yeah, I was surprised how heavy he was for how small he was.
Yeah.
He was super dense.
But such harmless, awesome creatures.
What do they poach him for?
The scales.
What do they do with the scales?
They use it for medicinal purposes.
Okay.
The
So
Chinese.
China. Yeah.
Yeah.
China again.
And it's one of the most trafficked little creatures in the world.
Yeah, I believe it.
But you don't realize how lucky you are to see something like that in the wild.
Yeah, a few minutes before you shoot your buffalo.
Nick, do you have your camera with you?
Here's my camera, sir.
Will that take stills? I mean stills.
No. When the
Taking
truck
some
comes,
stills of his nose and
no,
those
when the
Yeah,
truck
yeah.
comes,
come out of his
we'll
nose.
when the truck comes,
Onesie to do.
we'll get everything. Yeah.
Look at that face. Wow.
Okay, so well, this morning, John, we decided that we were going to go after buffalo, and we primarily were looking for Dagga boys, and we found a Dagga boy this morning. We got onto him fairly early. We followed him for about an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Found him where he bedded down maybe twice, and then we actually got onto him, but we just did not have the right shot to take. There's too much brush, and I know that you and I didn't want to take a risk on that. So we decided just to let him go, and with the current situation, with the wind and all the leaves where he was, it wasn't worth following. So anyway, we did have another mission, and the mission is that we had another Dagga boy that we knew where he was drinking. So on the way there, we found this big herd of buffalo crossing the road, fairly fresh, and decided to follow it. The wind was well within our favor.
About time.
Yeah, geez, after all these days hunting
Yeah.
buffalo, the wind was just never with us. Anyway, and shucks, we came across this elephant bull just eating by an anthill. We saw the buffalo coming, so we came around and got to an anthill. But just before we got to this anthill, we saw this pangolin. Now, pangolin is one of the most trafficked creatures in Africa, purely for their scales, for medicinal purposes. And you are so lucky to see a creature like that. So we got a quick bit of photos. You could hear the buffalo in the background, so we're like, hey, quick, let's just take photos here, which we did. And as I put him down, I looked up and I said to you guys, we've seen a pangolin, it's the luck of the pangolin, I'm sure we're going to get a buffalo. And we got up on the anthill and we saw these buffalo feeding onto us, a couple of cows, and this bull stepped out and just presented the shot. And geez, what a great shot you put in, John. Fantastic. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. I've wanted to hunt buffalo for 40 years. I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, I had pictures of Cape buffalo in my room and elephants and lion. I always wanted to come to Africa. And then as I got older and started learning about the realities of African culture and hunting, providing a lot of money for the locals, the PHs, our trackers, the guides, the skinners, the cooks, the guys who do the laundry, everything, it made it even more appealing. And then, of course, we're going to have this thing butchered and take it to one of the local villages and give them, what do you think is here, 600 pounds of meat?
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, quite a bit of meat, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So it's really good for all around. Earlier in the hunt, we came across some anti-poachers, or government guys who were out here tracking poachers and hunting poachers down and picking up their snares, and hunting provides all of that. Without hunting in here, these animals are not a commodity. Then they just turn into something worth nothing, and then they're gone. So.
Exactly. So it's not just about the hunting part, John. It's the conservation part. And without you coming to Africa to giving us jobs, creating jobs, one, giving the meat to the people, they benefit both from the meat and the trophy fee. So it's a win-win situation on all parties, and yeah, I mean, it's conservation at its best.
Yeah. Yep.
So truly thankful to you, John. Well done.
Yep, thank you,
and
sir.
good congratulations.
Now you guys can kiss.
So we're about to leave and go back to the vehicle. try and cut a road into our buffalo. But what we're doing here is we're actually covering the buffalo with a bit of brush. Reason being vultures. Stop the vultures from finding it and getting into it. So yeah, that's what we do. Right, let's go back to the fire.